I came back with a pretty impressive stack of NES games to add to the collection from SoCal Gaming Expo. So in this video, we're just gonna look at the games I picked up. We won't even look at every single one of them. We'll probably gloss over half of them, but this video would be like an hour long. Now, I did just get back from SoCal Gaming Expo, and while I was there to help the guys set up the entire expo, I helped the Pixel Game Squad guys from start to finish, from loading the truck at the storage unit to dropping the truck off at the storage unit and unloading it. I was there for the duration, helped with everything that I could, and I got as much footage as I could. So hopefully I can get that video together here right away. You'll get to see start to finish, from an empty exhibition hall to a full convention, and then back to the same empty hall again. But in this video, we're gonna check out the games that I picked up while I was there. So yeah, let's get into it. So right when I got into Los Angeles, I buzzed on over and checked out Hidden Gem Video Games, saw Punky while I was there, picked up a couple games from him. I got Godzilla. This is the first one. The second one is a more pricey game, but Godzilla is one that I know I have a buddy that used to play it. So I'm excited to take this over and let him experience this one again. I know it's not a great game, but it's one that my buddy Ron is gonna enjoy playing because he does have memories of renting it and playing it. I also picked up Totally Rad. I also got the manual for Totally Rad while I was there. Those are the two that I picked up from Punky over at Hidden Gem Video Games. Man, thank you so much. CJ2, guys, you know I love coming hanging out there. These ones are awesome. Really glad I got to pick these ones up and support my buddies there. After that, we went over to Chris's store at Retro Games Plus. I picked up another handful of games. We ended up picking up Deja Vu. Didn't have that one. Wanted to add that one to my collection. I have no idea anything about the game Deja Vu. Maybe when I see it, I'll have Deja Vu and remember it. I got Gilligan's Island. Probably not a good game. It's based on Gilligan's Island that I feel like back then us kids were seeing our parents maybe watch in reruns, but definitely wasn't super prevalent, I don't think. But hey, it got a Nintendo game, so added Gilligan's Island to the NES collection. We also got Star Trek, the 25th anniversary game. This one I have no idea. I'm excited to check it out. Didn't have it. There's one more Star Trek game I do need to get for the collection, but you know what? For now, we added Star Trek, the 25th anniversary game, to the collection. Really excited to check this one out. Probably going to be a hot garbage Star Trek game, but it is what it is. All right, we also got Tecmo Bowl. I didn't actually have Tecmo Bowl. I have Tecmo Super Bowl, but I never had Tecmo Bowl. So I'm excited to have this one in the collection. Finally added that over at Chris's store. Chris, your store is awesome, man. Thank you so much for everything. Really, really glad I could add some games there. So after checking out the stores, I went back to the hotel room, was just kind of hanging out. Got a text message from my buddy Ben. He said he had a box of games that I actually hadn't been able to go through yet that were his. They were his doubles, so he was kind of looking to get rid of them. So I met up with my buddy Ben and I picked up a handful of games. I got Xanac. I think this is like a side-scrolling shoot 'em up style game. This one, I don't think I want to butcher this too bad. Terra Certa? I don't really know. It also looks like it might be a shoot 'em up. I don't know. Can you see that? Like, can you tell me what that says exactly? How am I supposed to read that writing? I know it's on the top, but it's still, I don't know. That one I'm interested in checking out. I got Rainbow Island from Ben. This one I remember renting. I'm super stoked to have this one in my collection. I can't wait to throw this one in the system now that I'm home and get to play it. Really excited to add Rainbow Island to my collection. I got Digger T Rock. Digger T Rock is one that I've never played. I love the cover art on this guy. That is super cool looking. I'm really excited to check out Digger T Rock. I think it's just like one of those digger games where you're working your way down. what? It looks cool by the cover. This is one I for sure would have rented because of that imagery. Super cool looking Digger T-Rock. And then we got Street Cop, which is a Power Pad game. Well, I don't got the Power Pad yet, but I do have Street Cop now. Gonna check it out. Really glad I got those ones from my buddy Ben. Super stoked. Day one was actually pretty good. I got a whole bunch of games.
MB präsentiert Digger T-Rock, die abenteuerliche Suche nach der verlorenen Stadt. Du gräbst und gräbst, stößt auf Moskitos, üble Käfer und Drachen. Schaufeln, Strickleitern und sogar Dynamit brauchst du. Alles, um die verlorene Stadt zu finden. Aber du musst dich beeilen, denn wenn du es nicht schaffst, Digger T-Rock.
And then that led into day two, where I ended up picking up Ghost Lion from Curtis. This one he held for me. Super stoked to add Ghost Lion to my collection. I mean, look at the cover art on this one. This is super bad. I don't know who thought the cover for this one was a good idea. It doesn't even really match up with the game. This is like a role play game. It's supposed to actually be a really interesting and fun game that I'm interested in checking out. Role play game, Ghost Lion. This is one of them, a little more pricey one. This is like a $180 game. Really excited to finally add Ghost Lion to my collection. Oh, that cover art though, that is so bad. Now on our first day setting up for the convention, we were doing lanyards. We were just sitting, we were hanging out. I was hanging out with Gabo, Saul, Eddie, and Curtis. We were talking about what games we were looking for at the convention. Now, I did take out my hit list. I showed them that. I gave that hit list to Gabo. He was looking through it, and he mentioned that he did have the Lone Ranger, which I was excited. If I could get the Lone Ranger from Gabo, that'd be awesome. He did go for the full NES collection. He's now selling some of those ones off, the ones that don't mean a lot to him, and he's going for the full Super Nintendo library, which I think is super cool. Now, he did mention that the Lone Ranger copy he had was CIB. I'm not really going for CIB games. It's not what I'm gunning for, but you know what? It was one I was interested in. So I hummed and hawed a little bit. I looked it up on price charting and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do that because I'll take that extra money that would have been the CIB copy. Maybe I could find the Lone Ranger loose somewhere at the convention, and then I could buy a couple more games that were cheaper games instead of spending the money on that CIB cartridge from Gabo. Now, Saul overheard this, and he was interested in that copy of Lone Ranger. He wanted to add it to his collection. So he was asking me, he asked me numerous times, hey, is this what you want? Do you want it? Are you gonna get it? I said, no, I'm gonna save that money. I'm gonna get a couple other games. I said, Saul, please, you get it, add it to your collection. I would love to see that go to your collection from Gabo. It's a really cool game. I've heard great things about it. I think it'd be awesome for your collection. Now, on day 3, I rolled in, we were getting set up, we were bringing vendors in. I'd walked some vendors back to their booth, got them lined up. I was walking back, and over the radio, I get a call from Saul asking where I am. So this man right here, Saul, what is this? What is this?
Yeah, for my friend.
My friend Saul is giving me the Lone Ranger. We talked about it yesterday. I said I didn't need it CIB. This is from Gabo to you, to me.
Yeah.
And this means so much. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be your friend.
Yeah.
And
you're awesome person.
I can't wait to come back. And
that's the minimum I can do.
Next time I come back, we're going to swap meet.
Yeah. Sure. For sure.
Thank you so much. It means the world. Thank you.
Just a little bit something.
Just
no one.
Great people here. Amazing people. All right, you need to cross off the Lone Ranger for me.
Sure.
Yeah, cross it off because you crossed that one off my list.
Go? Almost there.
Right,
almost
getting there.
Almost there.
Perfect. We'll hit up the rest of the hit list here.
Almost there.
As the convention goes, we're still on the Thursday. Again, guys, thank you so much. I've already put this one in the system and played it. Right when I got home, the first thing I did when I got in the game room was put in the Lone Ranger and play it. because it's a super cool looking game. It's kind of RPG style in a little bit. You're doing side scrolling. There's like shooter levels. It's really, really interesting. It's one that does not get enough love. The Lone Ranger on the NES is one that I am so glad to have in my collection. I'm so happy to have it CIB from you guys. I didn't need it CIB, I really, really didn't. But this is gonna always have a special place in my collection because the memory of you guys doing that and getting to have Saul cross that game off my list. Super, super excited to add this one to the NES collection. Now, in the conversation with Gabo on that first day while we were hanging out, I did mention that I was hoping maybe I'd be able to get up to Fire and Ice and get Fire and Ice from Ryan with Fire and Ice. Now, that just wasn't gonna work. I was really crazy busy for the entirety of my time there, working the convention, helping those guys out. So Gabo gets on the phone, makes a phone call. I'd already kind of mentioned it to Ryan. He was aware, reminded it to Ryan. Ryan threw it in his bag and brought Fire and Ice from Fire and Ice directly to SoCal Gaming Expo and hooked me up with Fire and Ice. I'm so stoked that I could get this one from his store. Yeah, I didn't get to go to his store. That's on my list of things to do. But the fact that this one came from Ryan with Fire and Ice and is in my collection now, that means this game is always going to be in my collection. It's one I'm always going to treasure and I'm always going to love because I got to meet Ryan, got to hang out with him, got to visit with him, got to hear some really cool stories from Ryan. So Ryan, if you're seeing this, dude, thank you so much for helping me out to get this Fire and Ice from Fire and Ice. That's just meant to be. Now, another game on my hit list that I really was excited to try to cross off while I was at SoCal Gaming Expo was Excitebike 64. I had Excitebike 64 as a kid. It was on my hit list, and it's one that I really wanted to cross off.
All right, that's Excitebike 64 off the hit list. That's one off the hit list. Well, I snuck away from working. Let's keep looking for a little bit, and then we'll go back up and see what's going on.
Now, I did hunt for a bunch of the other games on the hit list. I did find one more that was on my hit list. We'll look at that in a little tiny bit. But first, let's look at some of the other random ones that I picked up. All right, so I got Crystalis. This game apparently is super, super cool. I'm stoked to add Crystalis to my collection. Honestly, I think it's like a role-play, kind of side-scrolling action role-play type of game. Super stoked to check out Crystalis and add it to my collection. Now, another game that I didn't even realize was an official NES cartridge when I first saw it is the Ren and Stimpy Show Buckaroos. This is a Nickelodeon game that I've never heard of. I picked this one up because I haven't seen it in a lot of places. So when I saw it, I was like, you know what? I need to grab this one, add it to the collection. Ren and Stimpy's Buckaroos. Here's some gameplay footage. I don't even know what this one is. Another one that I don't see around all that often that I picked up was Formula 1 Built to Win. This is a racing game. I haven't seen this one anywhere. When I saw it, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna grab that because I've never seen this one before. Now, the next one I picked up, I really hope is better than the N64 version of Superman. I don't even know anything about this one. I'm excited to put it in the system and play it. It's Superman. I hope I'm not doing a whole lot of flying around, but I venture a guess that I am doing a lot of flying around. Superman on the NES. Excited to have this one in my collection. Now, I did pick up a pretty high-end game while I was at SoCal. We're gonna look at that closer to the end of the video. I had to pick up another one that was $100 a game, and it definitely wasn't the Great Waldo Search. This one is a Waldo game. I have no idea. This one seems to be a little harder to find than the other Waldo game. So when I saw it, I snagged it up because I didn't want to have this as one of my last games I was looking for. I didn't want to be searching for Waldo for the NES collection. I also picked up Splunker on the NES. I got everyone's favorite game, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, one that the Angry Video Game Nerd really likes, one of his favorite games. I'm pretty sure had to add Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde to the collection. This one apparently is a really bad game, so I'm excited to throw it in the system and see how bad it actually is. I also added Wall Street Kid to the NES collection. I have no idea what Wall Street Kid is, but I'm kind of excited to check it out. I do like the cover art on this one. Embarrassingly, I got Sesame Street, ABC, and 1, 2, 3. This is the combo cartridge. I didn't have this one. This is actually the very last Sesame Street game on the NES that I needed. I have those two, ABC and 1, 2, 3, in the separate cartridges. Didn't have the combo cart, so now I have that. I don't ever have to buy another Sesame Street game on the Nintendo, which is super exciting for me. Another one I picked up was Rampart. I have no idea what this is. I'm guessing I'm building forts and attacking people, but Rampart on the Nintendo, added that to the collection. Excited to have this one because this is another one I don't see a lot when I'm out in the wild. One that I had on the Super Nintendo growing up, never played it on the Nintendo, so kind of excited to add it to the collection. Embarrassingly, I spent a whole summer playing the Super Nintendo version of this. It's Mario is Missing. This isn't a great game. You go adventuring around trying to find Mario throughout different places around the world. It's supposed to be an educational game. It wasn't super educational in my opinion, but sadly I did play a lot of it one summer back in the day. So I'm excited to check it out on the Nintendo, see how it compares to my memories of that Super Nintendo version of it. All right, we're getting into some heavier games. This one I did pick up, crossed it off the hit list, and completed a set of games. It's gonna be Dungeons and Dragons Hills Far. This one does have some paint pen on it. Got this one from one of the vendors that I had a really nice visit with. So when I saw he had it, I was like, you know what? If you're selling some of the games in your collection, I would love to add this to my collection. From you, picked up Hills Far. I should be able to get that paint pen off there. A little bit of work. I'm not too scared, worried about it. This one completes that Advanced Dungeons and Dragons set in the Nintendo collection. Really glad I got this one. All right, the last one I picked up, the heaviest one that I picked up at SoCal Gaming Expo. I got it from my buddy Ryan at his booth. He was there vending, him and his wife, and they had a little bit of bad luck, and I kind of felt bad that it happened. They had Bonk's Adventure, and someone swiped it from their booth when they weren't looking. We tried to figure out what happened. We didn't have camera footage, nothing like that. The kind of thing does sadly happen at these gaming conventions. Scummy people come in, scummy people distract these vendors, and then they steal something. That's not right. That is super uncool. If you're doing that at a convention, go somewhere else. We don't need you around. You're making the rest of the community look bad. So when I heard that, I thought, you know what? There was 3 different copies of this game at the convention. It was one I wanted to add to my collection. It's one I've wanted to add to my collection since I started the collection. So I thought, you know what? We're gonna try to help them out a little bit. I will buy this game. I did mention it to some of the other content creators around the convention that, you know what? These poor folks had bonks swiped. So if we could help them out, make their weekend just a little bit better, try to help them by buying some games from them, let's do it. So I went back over to Ryan's booth and I picked up Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers 2. This one I am so excited to have in my collection. I can't even tell you how honored I felt to get it from Ryan and add it to the set. This is super cool. This game right here completes that Disney Afternoon collection for me. I have all the Disney Afternoon games that we got on the Nintendo back in the day. That is awesome. I'm so excited. This is a really nice, clean cartridge too. Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers. I ran directly over to Ben. We pulled it apart. We got it all cleaned up. Ben cleaned this one for me. We threw it in one of the systems at the free play area, and I got to experience a little bit of Rescue Rangers 2 at SoCal Gaming Expo. This game, I'm so excited to have it in my collection. Yeah, it's the same as DuckTales 2. It's not quite as good as the first version we had. But to add this one to my collection, to finally complete that Disney Afternoon collection, because as a kid, I loved the Disney Afternoon cartoons, absolutely loved them. So to finish this set off within the Nintendo collection, I'm so excited. And I'm so excited I could, maybe help out just a little tiny bit, help out a friend, get a game from him when he had some really bad luck that weekend.
In our test center, world-renowned experts play Disney's new Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers game from Capcom. Here's what they say.
Way cool. Definitely rad.
You'll help Chip 'n Dale escape their enemies and rescue their good friend Gadget.
Definitely awesome. All right. Absolutely nuts. Ouch.
Play Disney's Rescue Rangers game for Nintendo by Capcom. Also, look for adventures in the Magic Kingdom.
Yes. It's hot.
And that's all the games that I picked up at SoCal Gaming Expo. Really excited to add a couple of the heavy games to my collection. This brings us to 527 games in my Nintendo collection of 676, because I'm not counting stadium events. Absolutely not counting stadium events. I will never own stadium events. I did see a copy that got bought at SoCal Gaming Expo, which was super cool to be involved in. But for me, we're getting real close. Cross some games off the old hit list here. We've got 3 games left. We've got Final Fight 3, we've got Pirates of Dark Water, and we've got Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. We're gonna go to Siege here next month. We're gonna see if we can finish the hit list off when we're there.